And now, more with Social Women with your hosts, Pat Cruz, Amy Diaz, and Bronwyn Dannenfelser.
So we're going to get right into this because we're excited that you're in.
Great.
And,
I'm happy to be here.
And this is perfect timing right before the holidays. I'm stressed. I don't even have my shopping done. I've got dinner to prepare. I've got a new puppy at home.
I was going to say.
Yeah. So we are, Candita Clayton is from, what is the name of your company, actually? Is
the name of my company is C Squared. That's my
Okay.
parent company. But I have multiple companies under that. Your Life Organized,
Yes.
the Candita Clayton Studio, Girls Night Out Goes Green.
You've got tons of things
I
going
have a
on.
lot going on.
Yes,
so,
you do.
like many women, like all of us, we have a lot going on, and it's really hard to find balance and to find that place where you love what you do, you love being home with your family. When you're home with your family, you're not thinking about what you're not doing at your work, and that's really difficult. So what I try to do is help people to find that balance between doing what you love during the day, and when you get home, leaving that other work behind so that you can suddenly say, great, now I'm home with my family, I'm centered here, and this is where I want to be.
Is
That's
it
where we all need to be.
organization? Is that really the key?
I think organization plays a huge role in our mental balance that we find, because I came to organizing from a very sort of disorganized place. After I had my second child, I always felt at odds with everything. I never felt ready for anything. So I just suddenly said, I need to be in a place where I feel some control. You know, because having small children, you don't have a lot of control. And having a puppy,
Yes.
you don't have any control.
and children. So, yeah, add them all.
So puppy, children, whatever the case may be, it's just a matter of being in that place where you know there's certain things that you do control and you take comfort in that. And that is, maybe you know what's for dinner. Maybe just knowing what's for dinner is enough.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
I
baby steps.
I have a big X on that.
Yeah.
I'm terrible like that.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, it's a lot of the kids too. So it's what do you want? What is everybody going to be happy with today?
Right,
And by the
right.
time I get home and finish homework and get everything going, that's a big thing.
It is. It is a big thing. And I think from where we probably all came from, my mother didn't ask the four of us what we each wanted for dinner.
It was-
She said, this is what is for dinner.
Correct.
And if you didn't like it, too
You
bad
weren't
for you.
eating.
You're
That's-
hungry.
Get some
But,
crackers.
it's like, oh, I don't like that, and I don't like that. I mean, it's we've done it to ourselves. We've raised our children this way, where we're saying, whatever you want, we're going to give you. So that's some place to start. That's a starting point. Here's what we're having for dinner. If you're not wanting this, then you can have a bowl of cereal. And that's, that is one place where you can really help yourself, rather than cooking 3 or 4 different things. How many children
That's a
do
big,
you have?
first of all, I have 3.
You have 3.
And sometimes I do cook 2 or 3 things, but not
we
often.
all do. We all
Not
do
often.
it. We've all done it.
It's the guilt of, if you don't, I feel like if they don't like it, they're not going to eat. It's the Italian in me, like, you've got to eat something. And I feel like they're not going to eat some healthy piece of whatever if they just go have a bowl of cereal. So
Right.
that's my own mental fault. But really, the bowl of cereal is probably healthier than
than it is than a lot of other things.
Right, so-
and I think that they also, the whole idea that you would all be sitting down together is really, that's the goal that I set for my family, is that at the end of the day that we all sit down together, no matter what anybody's eating. So the goal is that we're together. And that we have this thing that we do in our family where I have 2 children, and I ask them what was the best part of their day and what was the worst part of their day. So, I ask them what the worst part was first. And then what was the best part. And it's just a conversation starter where we all feel that we have something to contribute to the conversation at the end of the day.
That's a cool thing. What was that movie there was a movie not too long ago with, I don't know, I think Meg Ryan, Bruce Willis or something like that. That's what they did every night at the table.
Really?
What's the best part of your
Hey,
day?
they stole my
What's the
idea.
highlight? I think they called it highlight, low light.
Oh, yeah.
Highlight, low light.
Yeah.
What's the highlight of the day? What's the low light of the day? So
Yeah.
it's kind of a cool thing.
awesome.
Yeah, and it's incredible the information that you get out of your children when you ask it that way, like in a very safe environment. They might tell you things that they might not otherwise tell you. You know, and
It's a
that's
way of checking in too with people, right? To see where people are at, because we're all running around. You're running around, and you own an art gallery as well. So you know, we're all doing different things. But I don't. I blink sometimes at the end of the day and go, oh my gosh, I didn't check in to see what my husband was up to. I have no idea what happened in some of the people in my family's lives, and so it makes you stop, pause, and go, so what's going on with you?
right.
Yeah,
right.
so that's really
and
nice.
And sometimes you're really surprised. Like, I had no idea that you were doing that today. You know, like the day gets away from you, and that's where the balance is. We all have these dreams of what our family is going to be like, you know, what our family life is going to be like. And then when you're in it, it's just like running to the finish line at the end of the day. Like, I got through the day. I got everything done. The children are all intact, you know. Okay.
Everybody's got their limbs. That's
Right.
where I feel like that's
Low goals,
me,
low
yes.
goals, right?
So I've got a question. What do you do when you're completely overwhelmed? Like, you know, Pat says she's got a dog now and she's trying to figure out everything to do. The holidays are coming up. And I even turned around today and I don't have half the stuff crossed off the list. I kind of feel like maybe what you were talking about, where you weren't prepared for anything. I'm at that stage, and it all seems overwhelming. Is there a way that you know to kind of stop and put things into perspective, or how to approach
Well,
that?
I mean, and this might sound like a little woo-woo, but I meditate. So I take actually just small periods of time. I try to do it twice a day for 10 minutes. I just try to clear my head, and it's very difficult to do that when you're as busy as we all are. But I do it in the morning, and I put headphones on and I listen to just like rainforest music, or and I basically for 10 minutes I just sit there. That's really hard to do. It's hard to do if you've never done it, but once you do it, it's addictive, because it's after that period I get the best ideas that I've ever had. Like, the best ideas will come to me, problem solving will come to me. Like, I'll have like something that I want an answer to, and it'll come to me.
There we go.
Okay.
I could see a little
Larry.
sparkle in his eye over there. I knew he was coming up with something.
So that's a really great place to start. And if you can only even do it for a few minutes, you'd be surprised. You come out of that with a really fresh, okay, I can, now I can take
I need
on
that. I'm
the
taking
rest.
notes on this one today.
Yeah. I'm going to coach you. I'm going to life coach
I'm going
you, Pat.
to. Yeah, I need the notes today, because I know mine is hectic.
I
It
know.
is
I feel
hectic.
overwhelmed now too. I'm not, you know, in the clear for feeling overwhelmed and not having everything done and all of that. But I actually come to the whole shopping thing. I like the last minute, adrenaline rush.
I'm with
of
you.
Shopping.
I live
like
on adrenaline.
it because at the end I feel like, oh, there's excitement, and I just get my list and I go out there. My husband and I this morning said we're going shopping on Thursday, you know, so we make a date night out of it. We get all our shopping bags, get in the car, you know, make our plan, and to me it's exciting, you know, and so it takes all of that mundane, go to Target,
Yeah,
you
no.
know, it's more okay, I plotted out, I'm going to all these local stores, all of these merchants that I know and love, they're happy to see me, and I'm excited, you know, so instead of taking that as being overwhelmed, I'm using it in the positive, this is my
As a
exciting,
fun thing.
you know, little adrenaline thing that I get to do.
That's a good thing.
And then the elves need to come in so they can wrap all the stuff and do all the things.
I can do. You know what helps is the wine.
The wine
The
helps.
wine. You can one little wine when you go shopping, a
Yes,
little
it
wine when you're
does.
wrapping.
Ooh, happy holidays to everybody.
And the wine makes it much easier to meditate.
Yeah, I guess. So when I wake up first thing in the morning, that's what I need, right? Instead
Yeah.
of, well, now it's my hot chocolate instead of my coffee, but I need the wine to
Right,
meditate
right.
that 5 minutes.
Yeah,
in the
no,
morning.
I'm not advocating for early morning drinking.
No, I think I could probably do a 10-minute meditation thing.
Just try it.
I think I could
Try
probably
it.
do it
I'm gonna
because I
follow
love
up
all
with
that
you on this.
rainforest stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do that. It's just finding that time where I need to lock myself. Maybe I could go in the attic.
But even just no, it does
I
take
need
a
to
spot
find-
though.
I need
It
to
does
find
take a
this-
spot. You
I need
kind of
to-
need to have like that little spot that you like to go, like your favorite chair or whatever. Like a spot that you can relate to. Oh, this is my relaxation place. And nobody's gonna
Pat,
bother you.
I need to find a place where I can hide. Maybe I'll go to the attic.
Don't tell my spot. My kids might hear.
So, what are if you had 2 tips, like to look at the next 2 weeks, and 2 tips on how to survive them that have to do with how we can kind of put things together or organize? What would they be?
I would say prioritize, because lots of times our day gets sucked up with little things that are really not a priority. So, of course, we have a few key things on our plate right now. Getting ready for Christmas Day or the holiday, and then all of those things that you need to do. So let's say it's a list of 10 that have to get done. So those are your priorities. So maybe like social media is not your priority today. Like you have to take a Facebook break so you can go and get your stuff done. And I know that we're all about the social here, but sometimes you have to say, I have to take some time away from the things that I normally do so that I can get these other things done and feel more at ease. Yeah. So prioritize, make a list. Make a list that's not 20 things. Make a list that's actually 10 things that you can accomplish, so that at the end of the day, you feel really accomplished. Like, I made this list, I set out to prioritize, I did what I had to do, I can put this all to bed, and now tomorrow I can do those next 10 things. We all make lists that are way too big. They're always they're 5 or 10 things more than we can possibly accomplish. No human being can do that in a day.
Yeah.
I like that idea of making like a certain amount, so that at the end of the day you can go, oh, look I did it, because I think that's it. Is that those overwhelming, that 5-page list?
Yeah.
I have it.
Right.
Actually, I've got a 10-page list, I think, but I don't feel accomplished by the end of the day, and I think that's self-defeating.
It's
so I
totally
like that.
self-defeating. That's exactly, you nailed it. That's exactly what it is, because you never feel like, oh my God, I'm so great.
That I did this. I
Yeah.
got this done. I got this done.
Talking with you talking with you reminds me so much of just being home, and you were mentioning before family dinners and spending time with your kids, and it made me think so much about one of the issues with society today and families is the lack of communication. And when you were talking, I just kept thinking, I still to this day, whenever I talk to my mom on the phone, because my mom lives in Atlanta, it's one of those, so how was your day? Tell me what you did. What are you stressed out about? The way that I ask the questions are a little bit different, but it's just one of those things where that usually doesn't happen as much anymore. And as you were speaking, I looked down at my Facebook and I saw a post from one of my friends, one of my best friends, and even though we may not see each other every single day, it's my friends are my family. That we still do that. So communication for me is just one of the things that you mentioned that really hits home. And I find that although I don't have kids now, that's the way that I grew up. And
yeah, well, you'll probably raise your kids that way too,
Yes.
because it's like inherent to the person that you are. But I also think, like with my kids, I've really tried to stress that they don't use a lot of technology, especially when we're together, and they understand that both their father and me, it's important for us to have our cell phone and be communicating because it's part of our business. But at dinner time or at times when we're together as a family, we try really hard to be away from the whole technology piece and to just put that aside and not be distracted by it, because it's so distracting. And one of the things that I notice, and I was just talking to the girls, your interns, who are 2 really lovely girls.
They're great.
We were having a conversation about the lost art of communicating with people, and how everyone is they have their face in their phone, and they don't think that there's anything wrong with like looking down and, oh, I'm just going to check my email while I'm having a conversation with you. But really, how much do you miss in that conversation? And tying that back into organizing, when you don't listen, you miss an awful lot of what like brings your life together and how to balance it. Because like let's say I'm looking at this and my husband's telling me about his day and what time he's going to be home and picking up the kids, and then I realize 2 hours later I didn't really hear what he said, you know? So now it's like my whole way of organizing my day might have to change because he's not going to be home at 3 o'clock like I thought he was going to be. Now I have to pick up the kids. So it kind of brings it back to this silly thing, like not paying attention is really being unorganized. You know, it really, it impacts your day and also the way you deal with people and how you use your time.
I like that because I'm with you. The art of communication, gone sometimes. And I have interns that come into work with me at Waterfire sometimes and cannot hold a conversation like face to face, or when even people who've come in and worked for me or worked with me, I try to work on the fact that you don't just email everybody all the time or Facebook message them, that you pick up a phone, and that there's something about tone and the message and delivering the message and talking to people.
Right.
And you're right, finding out what somebody else really thinks, because I think sometimes social media, and sorry because I know we're into it, but I think it's a one-way street sometimes, the communication.
It's very much a one-way street, and what I've also found is that there's a lot of miscommunication when you are communicating that way, because the tone of your voice or the way that you write something, let's say via texting, you text something and someone else may be thinking, oh, wait a second, because we have the tendency of thinking the worst of everything. So if I text something, they're like, wait, are you mad? No, I'm not
Why
mad.
did you say that?
Why did you say that? Are you okay? And it's just one of those things where it's like, no, I'm fine. It's just...
It's interpretation.
It's interpretation.
Right. And listening, really listening and paying attention to people, making eye contact with people. I mean, how much of what we get from people comes from the look in their eye?
Right.
Isn't nonverbal communication like 90% of people only listen to 7% of the words that are coming out of your mouth, but then the other 90 plus is
Probably
nonverbal.
something
It's
like that. I
nonverbal,
don't know
yeah.
those statistics
I
off
remember-
the top of my head, but it's probably something
It's
like
something
that.
like that.
We're going to go with that.
Well, 'cause you're an artist as well, right? And you've got a gallery.
I'm not an artist. My art is to take artists' work and curate it and create gallery shows and represent them. So
Not just art. You do authors, correct?
I'm sorry?
You did an event too with
Oh, I
authors
did.
and
Yes.
books? Yeah.
Yep.
That
So
was a nice
I
event.
do a lot of special events and fundraising events around art, and I invite people in the hopes that they will buy art, and then I can give more money to charity. So that's
awesome.
Well,
which is
Candida,
really fun.
we are just about out of time. Time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
It goes fast, doesn't it go
It
fast?
does.
It does. It really does. So before we let you go, we'd like to give you this opportunity to let our listeners know how they can contact you so that they can get some more tips on how to get their life all together.
Well, if organization is your focus, you can go to yourlifeorganized.com, and there's also a place where if you sign up, you'll have access to a lot of my organizing articles, so hopefully that will help. Or go to CanditaClayton.com, and that will take you to all my other websites and other projects that I'm doing.
Which
So
are great, by the way.
Thank you.
I've checked that out
Thank you.
many
This was
times.
really so
many
much
times.
fun.
Isn't it? We have to have you back.
Yeah.
There's plenty of topics that you can come in and
I
talk
think
about.
maybe. I think there could be.
There are plenty of them.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you.